Okay, I promise that not all of these videos are going to be me complaining about stuff, just let me have this one. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about Leafpool's Wish, my least favorite book from the Warriors series. Before we go any further, I want to make one thing clear. I like Leafpool. While her chapters in the first few books in the New Prophecy were dull at best, it was her relationship with Crowfeather that got me hooked and invested in her story. At the time of reading the New Prophecy, I had no idea what I was in for when I began to read the next arc. But this brings me back to Leafpool's Wish, the book that chronologically takes place before Power of Three. I remember liking it okay when I was younger, but reading it again now, it just doesn't hold up. This book revolves around Leafpool's pregnancy with the Three, and how she and her sister go about hiding her secret from ThunderClan. This is unnecessary. We did not need a whole book about this. The base information that the Power of Three provided us was enough. Leafpool had the kits and Squirrelflight covered it up. We don't need to know anything more beyond that. This book pretty much adds nothing other than making StarClan seem less competent than before. I'll talk more about that later. Here's my main problem with the book. It is completely, utterly boring. Because we already know the basic information, we know what to expect in this book. And to make up for its lack of content, it fills itself with long, dragged-out scenes that are a chore to read through. And one of these scenes is the actual birth of the Three. If you are uncomfortable with the discussion of birth, here's a timestamp to skip over that. The Warriors books are no stranger when it comes to birth scenes. I'd say that they include them a little too frequently, as a matter of fact. At the very least, though, a Warriors birth scene doesn't usually last too long, which isn't the case with this one. The whole process of Leafpool giving birth is dragged on forever to the point where it becomes painful. Why, oh why, do we have to spend this much time focusing on a cat giving birth? There's even a point where it describes Lion Kit getting stuck. Why is this necessary? I can't tell you. There's one thing I like about this scene, believe it or not. And this may seem odd, but I actually like the fact that Yellowfane's ghost materializes to aid Leafpool while she is giving birth. And the reason I like this is because it's parallel to the birth of Jesus Christ. Wait, let me explain. Don't get me wrong here, I'm not religious. Far from it, actually. But for some odd reason, the story of the Holy Birth is still meaningful to me, despite the fact that I'm not as involved in religion anymore. I'm pretty sure that Leafpool's Wish may have actually been inspired by the birth of Jesus Christ. But anyways, even though I find this parallel to be neat, it doesn't change the fact that this book is boring and actually infuriating at times. The fact that Squirrelflight is pressured by StarClan to cover up for Leafpool is quite frankly disgusting, especially given the fact that Yellowfang flat out lies to her about being barren in order to get her to do it. But here's something that I want to quickly touch on. Even while Squirrelflight is facing this pressure, she flat out rejects it. Every time the idea of her taking the kits is brought before her, she flat out says no. It is only at the very last minute where Leafpool is leaving that Squirrelflight decides to go with her. Eventually, Squirrelflight does end up making the choice to help her sister, even if she was badgered by StarClan. But with all that said, Leafpool's Wish is an unnecessary borefest of a book that did not need to happen. And even while it wasn't boring me to death, it was making me angry at all the characters. Characters that I actually like, mind you. Really, just skip it. You don't need to read it. Trust me on this one. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you liked this video. I'll see you all later.